Yikes.
Just like Maddie's.
So day one, first day filming, right? What was that like?
That was a month ago. Well, I learned on day one why it's so expensive to make a movie. We hear about $30 million to make a 1-hour movie, and the complexity of getting the lighting right and your knowledge of it and your observations that that required constant changes to get it perfect. That was quite a learning experience for us. The part that we did was a piece of cake. We did it the same as we always do.
It's interesting how much technology is required to communicate about such a simple and low-tech thing as timber framing.
I thought Monday was incredibly exciting because the set was absolutely beautiful with the lighting, and it was really fun to see Gaius and Pat putting together the intros and so on to the various segments. Dad clears his throat a lot.
I do.
It's a technique. Instead of saying he says
Well, my throat does feel like it's accumulating and my voice disappears, like right now it's disappearing. Now it's back. So, part of old age. One thing I certainly notice is that when we're teaching this to 30 people, there are 30 people doing things. So we're moving very quickly from one thing to another. And here we're having to do one thing and then pause and wait and then get ready to do it again on the other side. And so it's a totally different pace. And yesterday it was very difficult for me to do that. Today I understand way more about how that is a part of filming. And it's normal. So I was a lot more relaxed today than I was yesterday. And hopefully I'll be even more relaxed tomorrow, and maybe I'll be asleep on the next day. It'll be great.
I'll take it you want to.
You're revealing a little too much chesty.
Well, I was doing that on purpose.
I really like that.
That's why one chance.
One thing that really amazed me was Dad's performance on Tuesday in this incredible humidity and heat inside the shop, not a breath of air moving anywhere. And he's just happily chiseling away and talking about what he's doing, never out of breath. I couldn't believe it. I sent him a text Tuesday night.
Well, chiseling by hand is very therapeutic. It calms you right down.
Yeah, in an online course, the student doesn't have the opportunity to spontaneously ask questions as they come up. So we were all trying to anticipate what the questions are or think about what the frequently asked questions are and answer them as we're presenting, as we're demonstrating, and as we're actually doing the work of cutting the timber frame. You guys look really good.
Yeah, you do.
Really? You guys all look really good too.
I love the set, and I think that it is so amazing to see how much the light impacts the view of video. I think it's coming together really well.
I can't wait to go home and have my evening cocktail. And I look forward to tomorrow.
You good, Mike? Yeah, all good. All right. All right, rolling.
This.
Sorry. I'll tell you that.
2 seconds on camera before you start speaking.
Right off the bat, you good?
I'm good. Well, now
It's starting to rain again.
Yeah.
Wednesday we had the most rain that Maine has had in years in one day. And of course our 100-foot building is made of steel, and that rain on the steel roof just made it impossible to film.
Yeah, you're good. I'll stuff it back in. It's never happened.
And every once in a while it let up for about 18 seconds. So we would all leap to our positions and start filming, and immediately it would start raining again. Here it comes again. We did that about 20 times.
It was awful. I was really worried that we were not going to get to film everything this week because we lost so much time. And you guys came up with an amazing plan to catch us all up.
Yes, the team of 4 became 2 teams of 2 acting like two teams of four. It was amazing.
We covered a lot on Thursday. I mean, beam sizing and drafting and dovetails and I don't even
Yeah.
know what else in the shop.
Thursday was brutal. You know, everyone was there, ready to go. I was on camera from 7 to 1:30. That was a long time. I cut myself. I'm leaking.
Uh-oh.
I think, you know, probably we all felt this way, but at the end of the day yesterday, I had bending moments in the can. You had drafting in the can, which is quite a feat to teach to a camera. I do think we all felt like we had reached the peak and we were starting down the other side finally.
We're gonna make it.
Yeah, it was a long day.
Okay, that's pretty much it.
My
These are
gosh.
Last shot.
I do think
Thoughts
that's
on
it.
Last shots.
It feels great. I look exhausted, I feel exhausted, but I'm also elated that we're done.
It's over.
I feel like
I
I'm on
can't,
vacation.
I can't wait to do the next one.
Oh my gosh. It's incredibly hard to be focused on what you're doing and talk about it and pay attention to make sure that you're not making a mistake. So when I was not making a mistake, but I did. When I was laying out the post in the layout workshop, I almost immediately laid it out incorrectly. I laid out two things on the wrong location. It's hard to keep it all together. I just realized that I made a mistake. This brace pocket is in the wrong location too.
I found myself, like in the drafting lecture, reorganizing how I presented it so that it made sense to a viewer as opposed to a person right in front of me. And that was not, I wasn't expecting, I wasn't anticipating that. And so I definitely had to pause and, you know, work my way through the information to be sure I covered everything and that it was in an order that made sense. It is very different.
We did have to explain things and speak in a different way, viewing it from the point of view of a viewer watching a screen, as opposed to teaching it to somebody who's doing it in front of you. It's a different language, and learning that language is what we had to do this week. The idea and the concept and what it will do for our students, I think, is absolutely wonderful.